Here are 16 YouTube automation niches that are printing money every single day. You guys loved the last automation niche video I made on my other channel. We got about 10,000 views. So here's another 16 that are insanely untapped with not just scalability, but a lack of competition. Now, obviously, when I'm finding these niches, I tend to find ones that I know are scalable that you guys can get into, whether it's ultra long form, regular long form, or even short form. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Now guys, really quickly, if you want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. It's a really cool community where we kind of all just share results and we kind of work together. But yeah, let's get right into the video. Now, coming up first, we have a very unique niche. This one is called Key. Now, this is a regular long form niche. He actually hasn't been going for too long. He only started about 3 months ago, obviously 117k subscribers on pure long form. That should be an insane indication of the quality of content on this channel. Now, only about 3 months ago, in terms of the views he's pulling in every single month, he is posting daily. That's a big thing to consider. He's pulling in 3.2 million long form views a month on this sort of kind of psychology content, like the psychology of people who love staying at home, the psychology of people who are tired of existing, and this video was a massive outlier, the psychology of people who don't post on social media. So it's somewhat edgy kind of psychology based content that's of course completely made through the use of AI. I mean, if we go ahead and have a look, once again, entirely AI script, entirely AI voice, and entirely AI content. It's very simple to make, and the margins on this would be astronomically high. Once again, in terms of the RPM on a channel like this, I would say it's probably about $4 to $5. Given the fact we are obviously entering Q4, we're probably sitting on that higher edge range. And this is a very good niche to get into, and of course, pulling in 3.2 million views a month with an RPM of about $5, this one channel is making $16,000 every single month. Now, coming up next, we have a very unique niche that I really wanted to cover. This video and this kind of niche is a religious-based channel. It is called Impactful Video Ministries, where they're posting God content, like you're praying, but these 5 habits of blocking your blessings, 5 clear signs you're growing closer to God. Now, this channel is not blowing up whatsoever, but my idea for a niche like this would be to put a twist on it. As you guys know, these types of videos are just regular long form, so they probably only have an RPM of about $3 to $4. But of course, pulling in 135,000 long form views a month, and they're not posting daily. Once again, entirely AI script, AI voice, and the images are all generated through the use of AI. So what I would do in a niche like this is kind of leverage the fact that we know it has proof of concept and views and a viewer base already there, and kind of transition this niche into an ultra long form. So what I mean by that is, of course, once again, using AI to do every single process, simply make the videos 2 hours long, 3 hours long. Your RPM will go from what it is right now, which is about 3 to 4, all the way to about $20 to even $30. Now, the craziest part is the fact that he's not posting daily. If we were to post daily with ultra long form based content, even if we're only getting 150,000 views with a $25 RPM, this one channel could be a cash cow for over $4,000 every single month. And now we have another ultra long form channel. This one is called Sleepy Monk. It's essentially one of these Buddhist based channels where they're posting like fall asleep to quiet Buddhist wisdom, Zen Buddhism for deep peace. They're posting 3-hour long videos and they're entirely English based. Now what this means is if we go ahead and check their view stats, the RPM on videos like this is probably going to be about $25 if I had to guesstimate, and they're pulling in 586,000 views a month. So if we go ahead and times that by, let's say, $25, this channel that only started about 4 months ago is currently making $14,000 in pure profit every single month. Now, I've made videos on how you can kind of create these videos. It's insanely easy. You essentially use deep research through ChatGPT to write the entire script, pop it into 11 Labs or whatever voiceover software you might be using, and then literally just put a blank background with a few animations and export the video, and you can continue to reuse that formula daily for a channel exactly like this. Now guys, really quickly, this is a massive announcement I want to make. I've never done this before. It's been a long time since I've done a mentorship, but I've finally opened up the slots for my brand new program if you want to work directly with me and scale a YouTube channel to $7,000 to $3,000 profit every single month. It is a 90-day program. We don't really have any sort of signing thing. If you want to go ahead and book a call directly with me, come to my website. It's completely free. Book a slot and have a free chat with me and see if you qualify, to see if we can kind of work together and scale your channel. But without yapping, let's get back to the video. Next up, we have a very unique ultra long form channel, and this is an exact example of a channel that has proof of concept, has been around for a very long time that we know works, but they're simply not posting. This channel is called Roundtable Rewind, and they started about a year ago, but as you can see, they haven't posted in months, and they were printing. I have no idea why they stopped. More than likely, they weren't kind of doing the videos in the most optimized way, that it took too much time to be worth it for them. But of course, using AI, we can automate a niche exactly exactly like this. So at their peak, if we go ahead and filter it by yearly, we can see that if it wants to go ahead and update, give me a few seconds. There we go. If we go ahead and update it, you can see they put in 2.2 million long form views and they were never posting consistently. Now, in a niche like this, all they were posting is like 4 hours of animation lore to study and sleep to. Essentially ultra long form based content that was of course made to fall asleep, entirely AI written script, AI voice, and of course the content is kind of the only expense. You'd have to kind of line it up with whatever's being said, which once again, going to Upwork, going to Fiverr, going to Creative Paradise, discord.gg/Creative Paradise, not sponsored. You can kind of find editors to do that for exceptionally cheap prices. And once again, videos like this probably have an RPM of about $25 per 1,000 views. Absolutely insane for an ultra long form based channel. And of course, they're pulling in 50,000 views a month and they haven't posted in like half a year. This is a prime example of where you can kind of inevitably change the niche, but not only kind of do that, but experiment with different fandoms, different TV shows, and of course, just post consistently. Coming up next, we have another insane channel. This one is called Explained Moments. Now, what they post is essentially Star Wars based long form videos. So for example, you guys can see the lore of Darth Caedus is tragic. They're posting Star Wars ultra long form, but you could take this a step further, right? You could do different types of fandoms. So for example, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Avatar: The Last Airbender. All that ultimately matters is that you're ensuring the fandoms that you kind of do get into have proof of concept on YouTube as a whole and have an audience that is willing to watch that content to fall asleep to, or even just to watch in general. Now, these guys only started a couple months ago, I believe. Yeah, about a year ago. And of course, they also started with Game of Thrones content. So that's a really good indication that Game of Thrones has proof of concept and has an audience on YouTube as a whole. Now, these guys are pulling in about 357,000 long form views a month. RPM on this content, probably about $30 or $20. Let's go ahead and say 20 to be safe. And of course, these guys are sitting on every single month, $7,000 in pure profit. Next up, we have a niche very similar to the one I just showed. This one is called Cartoonology. Now, I actually, funnily enough, found this niche in my Discord server in a public call we had the other day. If you guys want to go ahead and join that, it's discord.gg/1%. But these guys post similar content to the ultra long form niche I just showed you, but they're doing it in the SpongeBob niche. Now, they are absolutely killing it. They only started about 5 months ago, and now they're posting quite consistently, but there's still a big gap in the market if you guys decide to post daily. Now, these guys are pulling 800,000 long form views a month. Obviously, the RPM on this style of content is probably, if I had to guesstimate, probably about $25, seeing it's about 2 to 3 hour videos, $20,000 in pure profit every month on this one channel. If that's not insane and shows you the capability and profitability of ultra long form channels as a whole, I don't know what does. But coming up next, we have Fractal Wisdom. Now, these guys essentially post videos, kind of edginess on human psychology, if that makes sense. You can see, I'll never forgive my parents, Carl Jung. If you want to make the world a better place, here's how you actually do it. I'm not even entirely sure if Carl Jung is a real person, but they've kind of built a brand around this one guy and they just make fake AI stories every single day. And I think a way you can kind of innovate in a niche like this is by somewhat converting it to ultra long form content, making the videos 1 to 2 hours long. And by doing that, you change the kind of revenue from $5 per 1,000 views, probably upwards of about $20 per 1,000 views. And of course, these guys are currently pulling in 300K long form views a month. So they're probably doing on average $1,500 a month. But of course, if you do kind of implement and integrate ultra long form, you'd be able to bump that up to about $5,000 a month. And next up on our list, we have Ideas to Thrive. Now, this is a regular long form channel, but it is a genius one. Now, what they do is essentially videos that kind of improve your quality of life. So 11 tiny habits to make your brain crave hard things, 19 things you must quietly eliminate from your life. And of course, they're having a ton of different outliers that we can definitely replicate. So think faster and talk smarter to 99% of people, the framework method. This is the exact example of a channel that kind of goes past kind of a YouTube automation channel as a whole and builds itself into a long-term brand that you can somewhat leverage to sell products, to kind of sell sponsorships, and to build up your own persona. Now, these guys' RPM is probably about $4 to $5, seeing it is in growth improvement niche, pulling in about 700K views a month. So they're probably looking at about $4,000 in pure profit every single month. And once again, these videos are essentially written by AI voiceover, and the videos themselves are really the only caveat thing you need to kind of get made. And next up, we have It's That Simple. This is once again a very similar niche to the one I just showed prior. They're essentially kind of self-improvement as well, but they're doing it more in a edgy way. So this is why calm men are more dangerous than loud ones. 8 habits quietly destroying your life. Now, the reason why this channel is so valuable is the sheer amount of uploads they're posting, right? So they have a ton of outliers, meaning videos that performed better than usual posts. And that's because they have just a ton of kind of chances to go viral, seeing as how often they're posting. Now, you could easily be doing this daily, seeing as how easy these videos are to make, but they're currently doing, they only started by the way, 6 months ago, and they weren't posting consistently. They're currently doing 1 million views a month with an RPM of about $5. So this one channel is printing 5K a month passively through the use of a niche that is entirely automated through the use of AI. Now we're getting very close to the end of the list, but we have another one that I would probably say is a niche that isn't too recommended for beginners. This one is Professor Wildfang. They essentially post videos like every Arctic predator explained in 8 minutes, how deadly venomous animal explained in 8 minutes, every sky predator explained in 10 minutes. Now, the reason why I say a niche like this isn't the best for a beginner is because you are going to have to pay quite a lot to get the videos edited. Now, when I say quite a lot, I mean probably about $20 to $30 a video, but of course I know for many of you that's just not feasible. So I would probably stick with a niche that doesn't require too much editing, which is obviously ultra long form, regular long form in a somewhat easier niche. But if you do have the capital and you don't mind investing a little bit, this is the prime example of a niche you could 100% tap into tomorrow. Now guys, to kind of add back onto that, if you want to go ahead and get yourselves a pre-monetized channel, meaning you're monetized instantly right off the bat, go ahead and check out my site right here. Use the promo code video and you'll get a 5% off discount. And if you guys do want to go ahead and work with me, you can actually get a pre-monetized channel for free when you join my program. If you do qualify, feel free to book a call with me directly at start.innervault.co. But yeah, let's get back into the video. Next up, we have a niche that is very important. Now, this is called NFL stories. And the reason why I'm making such a big emphasis on this niche is because NFL is a massive sport in the US, similar to kind of the NBA, the NFL. Those two sports have a high RPM because the majority of viewers are based in the United States. Now, why does that affect the RPM? Of course, because US people have more money per salary and advertisers are willing to spend more money to acquire those customers. So a niche like this could easily have an RPM of like $8, even just on 8 to even 10-minute long videos. They're pulling in 100,000 views a month. And once again, they just started very, very recently. So even just by starting about a month ago on insanely easy videos to make, they've already made thousands of dollars. And this is of course the exact type of niche that has a ton of scalability over the next couple years because NFL will never die. Guys, we're getting very close. This is another banger channel, Comic Stats. Now, what they post is essentially DC, Marvel, superhero based content, kind of tier lists on like every death in DC Extended Universe, Dark Multiverse versions. And once again, once you build up a video template, you can make these videos in literally like 5 minutes. You obviously just use AI to do the kind of research for the videos. They only started very recently, about 3 months ago. And of course, they didn't really post that consistently when they first started. So starting 3 months ago, they've already pulled in about 2.3 million views with an RPM of about $4 to $5. They've already made on this easy to run channel, entirely done through the use of AI, close to $10,000. And of course, you could take this a step further. There are different fandoms you can kind of integrate this style of content with. So for example, Harry Potter tier list, you could do Game of Thrones. I just make sure the kind of niche you are doing has a big audience and a big enough kind of variety and library of content to be able to make videos like this. So for example, anime is a prime example. Naruto, One Piece, big animes that have a massive loyal fan base. And this is an example of a crazy channel that I would get into tomorrow. This is Chill Dude Shadow Mode. Now, previous to the other one I spoke about, this channel posts so much that they have a ton of potential for outliers. They're doing edgy, kind of dark, humorish, improvement videos similar to the other channel I spoke about. So illegal things you're doing without knowing how to spot a liar, the language of lying. And once again, they're very, very new, only starting about 3 months ago. And of course, as I said, the biggest factor in a niche like this is the fact that they're posting so often that they have such a high chance of virality and building up outliers. Outliers being videos that performed way better than previous content on the channel itself. And of course, they're pulling in about 500,000 views a month. So obviously with an RPM of about $4 to $5, these guys are making about 2K profit on average every single month off this one channel that is once again brand new. Now, this is a very unique niche. If you know YouTube automation at all, you'd understand kind of why this is so valuable. This channel is called Financial Historian. Now, the reason why this is so insane is because they've kind of merged finance content with Gen V content and made it into one. Now, the reason why finance content is so good on YouTube as a whole is because the RPM is insane. People that watch finance content are more than likely going to spend more money on finance-based ads. Henceforth, the advertisers are willing to spend a lot more money increasing the RPM on finance content. So even though these videos are only 13 minutes long, they could easily have an RPM of upwards of $8 per 1,000 views. And they only started a couple months ago, 2 months ago. Insane. They're pulling in 1.1 million views a month with an $8 RPM, that is $9,000 in revenue every month with entirely AI written scripts, AI voice, and literally stock images. Coming up to the second last channel I've left the best for last, we have Silent Screams. They post essentially really scary, disturbing forest encounters, kind of video-based content compilation style, similar to kind of the crime niche you might see with like Dr. Insanity. Now, the only reason I say this niche isn't as automatable as any of the other ones is because you kind of have to write the scripts yourself or kind of view the content solely because AI isn't at the point yet where it can kind of review and give feedback on content it sees. But if you do have some spare time and you have the kind of time to invest in a niche like this, you have a ton of scalability and of course an insane amount of money waiting for you given how much virality these videos have as a whole. And last but not least, we have an insane channel. This one is called Pele Explains. They've essentially built out past just the YouTube automation bubble and have built a brand around their channel. This one essentially posts videos like dumb habits that make you smarter, ways to stay alive in these deadly situations, signs you have an unhealthy body. So essentially self-improvement, but with their kind of jokey branding around it. Now, they only started very recently, about 4 months ago, and they are already printing. They've got about 6.4 mil views with an RPM of about $4. They've pulled in close to $25,000 in pure revenue already, and this is a niche that you could easily expedite with AI. Now guys, once again, if you want to go ahead and work directly with me, check out start.innovault.co, fill out the form and book a meeting with me. I'd love to chat with you guys and see if we can work together to scale you to $7,000 profit every single month. And if you guys want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. It's a really cool community. I hope you guys learned something new. I will see you all later. Peace out.